All right, what's going on, guys? We're back this week, and this week I've been getting a lot of questions about my stick setup, how I like to string my stick, what mesh I use, and my shaft that I use. So today I'm just gonna give you guys a quick rundown of my stick, why I use what I use, and what I look for in a good goalie stick. Right now, I'm using the STX outlet shaft. I cut this one down. I like to use the attack length shaft. I just feel like it's easier for me to handle and control, and good for my stick skills. I don't like too much tape on my shaft. I just have a little bit down here for my bottom hand, and then just some X's up top, just to give my top hand a little extra grip. I really like this shaft because it has the rounded back, and I just think it feels good on my top and my bottom hand. When I'm gripping the stick or when I have it down and I'm cradling. Going up to my head, I'm using the STX Eclipse 2. This is the head that I finished this past PLL season with and have been using so far in my off-season training. As you guys can see, I like the 2Us and the 1 nylon setup this is String King 1S mesh. I really like this mesh just because it's soft, but it doesn't get too soft. And I don't like the really hard mesh just because I feel like when it's really hard, I struggle with rebound control a little bit. And also when the mesh is a little softer, the ball just kind of sits in the pocket a little better when I'm cradling and throwing. So yeah, this is my current stick setup. Now let's get into some tips that I have for you guys when picking out your stick of choice. So my number one tip for you guys as you're deciding on how you want your stick to be or what you want your stick to look like is versatility. Remember, you're a lacrosse player first before you're a goalie. So you want to make sure you have a stick that you can perform the basic skills with. So that's, line drills, stick work, all kinds of stick work, being able to release the ball from different points and different release angles. Learn how to be able to shoot with your goalie stick. You never know when you might need to shoot or make a hard pass or scoop up a ground ball or make a play outside of the cage. So number one tip always is make sure you have a stick that's versatile and is good for more than just eating up shots. So I get the question a lot, how do I string my stick or for my pattern? I really don't think it's about the pattern that you string your stick with as much as just understanding a few basic things when it comes to what makes a good or well-strung goalie stick. Number one is you don't need to have a huge bag in order to have a stick that can control rebounds. Controlling rebounds really should come more from developing good habits and good fundamentals with saving the ball out in front of your body, having soft hands, rather than just having a big bag in your stick and relying on that to control rebounds. The second thing is that I always see is goalies think that whipping their stick or holding their stick comes from the shooting strings. Okay? If you guys can tell, all my shooting strings are pretty loose in there, right? None of my shooting strings are pulled super tight. So it's important to understand that your whip or your hold in your stick doesn't come from the shooting strings or the nylon in your stick. It really comes from how tight you pull the mesh down, kind of on the top half of your stick. And you guys can see it forms a nice channel there. That's really where you can develop a lot of the hold and the whip in your stick if you want whip in your stick. Or the ball to come out with more or less feel, really just kind of your preferences from there. But you want to build a stick and you want your stick to be strung in a way where it's consistent and you can throw consistently from a bunch of different angles and a bunch of different release points and be able to rely on your stick and how the ball is going to come out. For my shaft, as I mentioned earlier, I like to use the attack length shaft. I just feel like it's much easier for me to handle, both in the cage, making saves, throwing outlet passes, and also outside the cage when I'm scooping up ground balls. If I ever need to carry my stick with one hand or snap a pass off really quickly, I just think that this, especially for younger goalies, is easier for them to handle and to develop those stick skills and basic lacrosse skills that you need as a goalie. Then as you get older and you progress in skill and levels and you grow a little bit, you can move up and lengthen your shaft a little bit if you want. Some goalies like that. They feel like it helps them on their outlet passes. This is just kind of what I'm comfortable with and what I like using in there. All right, guys, I hope some of you who have been asking me about my stick and my preferences found this video to be helpful as you guys are trying to figure out what you like in your goalie stick. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button below and subscribe to our channel. Starting next week, we'll be releasing 2 videos a week, starting with Tuesday. We're gonna start releasing Tip Tuesday every single Tuesday, followed by our regular weekly Friday video. So make sure you guys subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you guys next week.